Chicken say, go so pass it.
Somebody they steal and somebody they buy. Somebody they see, but the same person is bad. Now every day I tell this. 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 Now every day I tell this.
It's about musical. There are crimes in many places, in every community, you can see. So if you see crime, report it. Don't take law in your hands for the real authority. Really can't take your law in. Crime stopper here for us, bringing safety to your door. Whether you rich or you poor, if you see a human target, I mean you cheche. Do it for your safety. If you see it, don't keep it. You must call to report it. Crime stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime stopper, Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime stopper, keeping us safe, let's stopping crime for all of us. Crime stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime stopper, Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime stopper, keeping us safe, let's stopping crime for all of us.
Crime Stopper Liberia is your community crime fighting partner. Don't take the law into your own hands. Remember, if you see a crime, report it. This is a message from your own self, Old Man Sam Cyan.
Crime stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime stopper, Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime stopper, keeping us safe, let's stopping crime for all of us. Crime stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime stopper, Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime stopper, keeping us safe, let's stopping crime for all of us.
Robbie, why you taking?
I said, darling, you look so worried.
Charles, I'm worried because I don't know where to get stuff for my shop and restaurant.
Oh, come on, man. Haven't you heard about Exeter's Best Price Store on Gurley Street and Smart Road Junction on the Old Road?
Oh, no, Charles. Tell me about it.
Exeter's Best Price Store got everything for your shop and restaurant. And the good news is that they have reduced the prices of club beer products and imported beverages. So to keep that graduation party, wedding reception, and whatever no occasion jumping till the break of dawn. Exodus Best Price Store is that place for you.
Is that all?
No, they have for the first time introduced on the LIB market Buffalo Revive that comes with 4 different flavors: Cool Blue, Apple Kiwi, Full Red, and Fitness Orange. It's good for athlete and everyone. For wholesale and retail supply, call cell number 0770-617-575. Exodus Best Price Store on Gully Street and the Old Road Smart Road Junction. We are your cheaper wholesale and retail store.
Easy, when you want some more, I provide. So we start to talk. Come on, going to 20 pop. Put it to each chicken.
Good morning, good morning, good morning to the peace-loving people of Liberia. Welcome to the Tuesday edition of the program from the Print News. Today is the 15th of April, 2025 is the year. My name is Wendell Nimna and Esther Daku is here. Esther, good morning and welcome.
Good morning, Wendell. Good morning to all of you listening to us this morning. It's good to be here again.
I like your dress, man. So beautiful.
Thank you, Wendell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, folks, that's it. Welcome. We are back here this morning. So grateful to the Almighty God for being alive this morning to have us back here to do the Liberian people work. So, as usual, Esther and I will be sharing with you the Front Page Africa and the Daily Observer online versions. Today happens to be the birthday of a friend and sister there at the Inquirer newspaper, Mrs. Jenny Falawona. Happy birthday to you, Jenny. Hope you celebrate your birthday in a grand style. So we are about to get to reading the top stories from the Front Page Africa online version and the Daily Observer newspaper. Too many interesting stories, and so let's see which one is going to be the first this morning. And let's see from this point. Yes, we would take this story. Okay, let's take this story. This is going to be our first story this morning. And it says here, Unity Party faces backlash over code of conduct violation in Koga endorsement. And it says, yeah, send money in real time. What we got to do with them? Who's sending money here? The money? What the thing coming from again? I can't jump here. Let me move it from here, man. Hey, hold on. What one here again? Okay, folks, let me get to the story. Okay, Unity Party faces backlash over code of conduct violation in Koga endorsement. The ruling Unity Party is under mounting criticism after several of its high-ranking officials, many of them presidential appointees, openly endorsed senatorial candidate Samuel G. Koga of the Movement for Democracy and Reconstruction, MDR, at a campaign rally on Saturday, prompting accusations of hypocrisy and a clear violation of Liberia's code of conduct. The endorsement, held in Nima County just days ahead of the April 22 senatorial by-election, has stirred outrage among civil society groups and opposition politicians. Critics say it highlights a disturbing contradiction between the Unity Party's current actions and the standards it once championed while in opposition. At the center of the firestorm in Section 5.1c of the Code of Conduct for public officials and employees of the government of Liberia, which unambiguously states all officials appointed by the President of the Republic of Liberia shall not serve on a campaign team of any political party or the campaign of any independent candidate. Despite not wearing party regalia, the visible participation of top Unity Party officials in the Koga endorsement has been widely uh, interpreted as an alignment with the candidate's political campaign, thereby breaching both the letter and intent of the code. Among those present at the event were Luther Tappert, the party's national chairman and chairman of the board of the National Port Authority, Ben A. Fofana, commissioner at the Liberia Telecommunications Authority, Cornelia Tuba, deputy minister of state for presidential affairs, Roe Bryant, superintendent of Montserrat County, Amos Twe, an employee at the Liberia Petroleum Refinery Company, James Yole, Assistant Minister for Operations at the Ministry of Internal Affairs, Emmanuel Farr, Deputy Director for Administration at the National Fire Service, Selena Paulson Mappe, Deputy Minister for Operations, and Toga Melvin Cephas, Deputy Director for Administration at the National Transit Authority. These officials, while serving in their official capacities, stood in open support of Koga, a move that many say undercuts the Unity Party's own stated commitment to the rule of law. The criticism is particularly pointed given the party's prior stance during the 2020 midterm senatorial elections. The Unity Party, then in opposition, lambasted the Coalition for Democratic Change for appointing presidential appointees to its national campaign team, calling it a gross violation of the Code of Conduct. At the time, the party declared democratic governance is meaningless when the laws governing the conduct of elections are disrespected, ignored, and violated. The conduct of election does not guarantee democracy, the Unity Party said in 2020. The foundation of democracy is grounded in respect for the rule of law. When this happens, democracy grows. It is deepened and consolidated. Now, in power, the Unity Party faces accusations of contradicting its past moral posture. The Citizens Movement for Change, led by Representative Musa Hassan Belati, has formally complained to the office of the Ombudsman, describing the Unity Party's actions as a blatant disregard for the law that endangers Liberia's democratic process. This constitutes a breach of the Code of Conduct and threatens the sanctity of our democratic process, the group stated in a letter dated April 13. CMC also rebuked Vice President Jeremiah Cohn for his participation, and despite the Unity Party not fielding a candidate in the race as a leader of this county, I did not expect him to be part of his campaign, Belate remarked. The April 22 by-elections was triggered by the death of longtime Nima County Senator Prince White Johnson in November 2024. Under Article 37 of Liberia's Constitution, a legislative vacancy must be filled within 90 days, and the race to replace Johnson is widely seen as a test of political power in Liberia's second most populous county. Religious leaders have also weighed in. A Liberian pastor speaking under the platform The Ecology Dex condemned what he called double standards in government, stating what was seen as wrong yesterday and condemned should not be praised and ignored today. The silence of the office of the Ombudsman in the wake of the complaint has left many questioning the government's willingness to uphold its own laws. That silence has only intensified criticism of the Boakat administration's approach to governance. Well, we can leave the story right there and take more stories here from the online version of the front page Africa newspaper.
Mm.
And another story here says CDC slams Liberia National Police apology over rally, cites a lack of complaint and political motives. The Congress for Democratic Change has firmly rejected an apology issued by the Liberia National Police concerning the conduct of officers during the party's recent due payment rally, calling the statement unsolicited and unwarranted. In a statement released Monday by the office of former President George Weah, who also serves as the standard bearer of the CDC, the party criticized the police for issuing an apology in the absence of any formal complaint or reported misconduct at the April 13 event. Esther, I hope you're following this story.
Of course.
All right, so let me get to this part again. It says in a statement released Monday by the office of former President George Weah, who also serves as the standard bearer of the CDC, the party criticized the police for issuing an apology in the absence of any formal complaint or reported misconduct at the April 13 event. We wish to emphasize that no complaint was lodged with the LMP regarding the conduct of security personnel at the event or any transgression for that matter, the statement read. As such, the office of the former president views the LMP's unsolicited apology as unwarranted and potentially harboring ulterior political and sinister motives. The statement defended the conduct of the state designated security officers assigned to former President Weah, stating they acted with professionalism and discipline during the peaceful rally. It questioned why the LNP chose to respond to unverified social media reports rather than directly engaging with Weah's office to confirm any alleged wrongdoing. We are at a loss as to why the LNP relied on social media and informal reports rather than engaging directly with the office of the former president to verify allegations of misconduct, the statement added. The CDC further cautioned the Liberia National Police and other security agencies against being crowned into political maneuvering, emphasizing the need for neutrality and adherence to professional duties. We wish to iterate our call for the Liberia National Police and other security agencies to strictly adhere to their professional mandates and avoid politicizing their roles, the former president's office stated. Reaffirming Mr. Weah's respect for the rule of law, the CDC warned against what it described as covert attempts
Mm.
at intimidation, warning that such tactics would not be tolerated. While the former president remains law abiding, he would not tolerate attempts by state entities to employ subterfuge or unprofessional tactics to engage in intimidation, the party said. The office also clarified that all security officers currently protecting former President Weah are largely and officially assigned by the state. All right, so we can take one more story and then we jump to something else. So, which one is going to be our next story? I'm trying to see which one is going to be the next story. All right, yes. Let's take this story here. It says Senator Dillon attributes Weah's loud-speaking to failure of Walker government to perform and orchestrating Kofa's removal. Montserrat County Senator Abraham Darius Dillon has linked the renewed political momentum, of former President George Weah and the opposition CDC to what he described as the underperformance of the current administration led by President Joseph Nyima Bwaka. Senator Dillon, who chairs the Senate Committee on Foreign Affairs, said the Unity Party-led government has failed to govern effectively since taking office, thereby creating an opening for the CDC to rebuild public confidence ahead of the 2029 presidential elections. Speaking of Punch FM on Monday, April 14, Dillon said the CDC, like any political party, wants to return to power. The only way to stop them is through strong performance. But our government has not delivered. That is why George Weah is doing videos and dancing, believing 2029 is already around the corner. Dillon criticized internal conflicts within the ruling establishment, specifically referring to the impasse over the speakership at the House of Representatives. In less than a year, the government is already in disarray just because of a fight for one harmless seat, he said. Anyone involved in orchestrating that conflict, especially from our side, has not done well. They are selfish and do not love the president. He stressed that President Bwaka should have acted decisively as a father to mediate and prevent the leadership crisis in the legislature from escalating. The Montserrat County Senator said he expects the Supreme Court to issue a clear ruling soon on the matter, which continues to affect the functionality of the House. Senator Dillon also raised concerns over the treatment of Liberians in concession areas, naming B. Martin and Western clusters as examples. That's I think we can stop right here and send controls to you to bring us the daily observers. So let's hear from you.
Of course. And so on my desk this morning, we'll look at the online version of the Daily Observer. And the top story here says detained for fraud. Detained for fraud. And we see the photograph of Prophet Key. I don't know his real name. That's the name we know for him.
A real name that you see it.
I don't want to see it. Well, it says popular political commentator turned senatorial aspirant Justin Opa Yezian, widely known as Prophet Key, has spent his first night in detention at the Liberian National Police headquarters after he was detained on Monday over allegations of forgery. He is accused of forging a national voter registration identification card to enable his candidacy in the ongoing Nima County senatorial by-election. He was disqualified by the National Elections Commission weeks ago over the alleged dubious act. The controversial figure was invited for questioning at the LMP headquarters following the formal complaint from NEC, which accused him of submitting fraudulent voter credentials during the nomination process for the April 2022, that's April 22nd poll. After nearly 10 hours of interrogation and waiting, Prophet Key was denied release and placed in police custody overnight, despite voluntarily appearing with his lawyer. Okay. The NEC complaint to the Ministry of Justice triggered an official request to the Inspector General of Police to launch an investigation. At the center of the controversy is a biometric voter registration card number 036049132266 submitted by Yezian, which is Prophet Key, which the NEC says does not exist in its official voter database. The allegation of forgery first surfaced when Unity Party Youth Congress Secretary General Prentice Doma publicly accused Prophet Key of submitting false registration information The independent fact-checking by local voices Liberia confirmed that a BVR number in question could not be found in the 2023 final registration rule. It also reported that Prophet Key was not among those who registered during the last voter registration process. Despite this, the political prudent submitted a complete or completed nomination package to the NEC on March 11, 2025, which included biometric data, an unassigned voter ID number, and broken telephone contacts, raising additional questions about his eligibility and residency. Speaking to Daily Observer following his client's overnight detention, Anthony Swamwafala, who represents Key, condemned the police refusal to release his client, describing it as an abuse of procedure. The police refused to allow Min to sign for him. According to the police, they are still investigating, so they want to keep him in detention till tomorrow. So he stays in detention till tomorrow. Anthony Fala said this is deeply concerning, especially for someone who willingly turns himself over. He said the police told him that his client was engaged in fraudulent voter registration cards. So the chairperson of the National Election Commission wrote, the Minister of Justice and the Minister of Justice wrote, the Director of Police following the investigation. So he was invited today, and we were there this morning around 10 a.m. He wrote his statement. They asked him questions and everything. We stayed there till 11 p.m. tonight, but they couldn't release him to me, so I left. Anthony Fada further narrated that the police told him that they are still investigating, so they didn't want him to go home until they can continue their investigation. So they have to keep him while they investigate. Well, that's the story. Let's look up more. MCSS Sky Insurance hooked in Liberian dollar 8 million corruption scandal. MCSS Sky Insurance hooked in LD 8 million corruption scandal. Is that the Monrovia Consolidated School System, or what is that? The MCSS? It says the Financial Intelligence Agency has flagged while it termed as a multi-million dollars fraud scheme involving key officials from the Monrovia Consolidated School System and Sky Insurance. The discovery of the scandal has prompted an urgent call for a full investigation by the Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission. In a confidential communication sent to Councillor Alexander Kate Zoe, the executive chairperson of the LECC and FIA outlined a series of troubling financial transactions that suggest widespread corruption at the heart of Liberia's public education system. The report implicates Sonita Dangan, an employee of the MCSS James A.S. Mombo, the superintendent of MCSS, and Kabina Keita, an official of Car Insurance, in a scheme that allegedly inflict insurance costs and misappropriated funds designated for a government-sponsored scholarship program. According to the intelligence gathered, Sonita Dongan, who had worked at MCSS, was at the center of this illicit operation. In September 2024, Dongan allegedly reactivated a dormant account at Sapley International Bank that had been inactive for over 2 years. Shortly after reactivation, she deposited 3 checks totaling over 8 million Liberian dollars, all issued by Kabina Keita of Sky Insurance. However, the FIA found no evidence of any legitimate business relationship between Duncan and Keita, raising suspicions that these checks were part of a larger fraud scheme. The report also reveals that the MCSS administration, under the leadership of Superintendent James A.S. Momo, diverted funds for a government-funded scholarship program intended for MCSS teachers, while the Liberian government reportedly covered the cost of travel for scholarship recipients to study in India. Each of the selected teachers were charged an additional US $920. The FIA suspects that these payments were funneled into the pockets of MCSS officials, with Superintendent Momo believed to be the principal beneficiary. Further analysis of Dongan Financial records shows that after the checks were deposited into her account, large sums of money were quickly withdrawn in cash, further fueling concerns of money laundering and illegal financial activities. The FIA's investigation into Duncan's financial activities revealed a pattern of questionable transactions, including unreported salary payments and a lack of business dealings to justify the substantial deposits. We're going to leave you there and look at more stories this morning. Leadership crisis rocks LMA. Is that the Liberia Marketing Association? Well, let's see some lines. Leadership are let's leave that for you to visit the online version of Daily Observer. Let's see more stories. LTA to construct digital village in Lofa. LTA to construct digital village in Lofa. Whereas Good Man 26 dies mysteriously in Nimba. Mother fears for life of siblings. Okay, let's see again. We have Ali with us when I forgot to let you know we didn't announce him. And let's see. Man 26 dies mysteriously in the mother fears for siblings' life. And we have UCR labels 30 rise allegations as malicious fabrication. UCL labels dirty rice allegations as malicious fabrication. I'm interested in rice, Wendell,
Mm.
and I want to take some lines. United Commodities Incorporated has strongly denied allegations circulating on social media linking the company to be rebuying and distribution of contaminated rice on the Liberian market. In a statement issued Monday, the company described the claims and accompanying photographs as criminally and maliciously masterminded, branding them as deliberate attempts by unnamed individuals to blackmail the company and damage its reputation. The information is completely fabricated, UCI stated. We categorically condemn these falsehoods intended to mislead the public and tarnish our credibility. The rights importer assure consumers that it has never engaged and has no intention to engage in any practices that will compromise public health or safety. It also emphasized that its warehouse facilities remain open and the public during working hours, allowing customers to inspect and purchase rice freely, a clear indication that UCI has nothing to hide. Since its establishment in 2009, UCI says it has maintained a record of supplying high quality rice in the Liberian market with no history of selling substandard or contaminated products. The company also noted that all of its operations from importation and offloading to storage and we act I mean supply are conducted in accordance with the established business practices and under the supervision of relevant Liberian government agencies. Our products remain in high demand because of their quality and taste, the company added. The allegations come in heightened public concern over food safety and product quality on the Liberian market. UCI is urging the public to disregard the malicious reports and continue to trust its brands. Well, I didn't read this story for that personal gain. I hope I can have the time to throw a little light on what I think before we can hit our talking point. A nation at the mercy of mining giants. A nation at the mercy of mining giants. India. Liberia, a nation blessed with abundant mineral resources, finds itself precariously positioned at the crossroad of potential prosperity and dilapidating Dutch curse. This economic phenomenon where a boom in natural resources exports paradoxically hinders overall economic development, threatens to potentially undermine Liberia's potential for sustainable growth, while the ground benefit is fews while the ground benefits untold riches, the current system of resource management leaves the nation vulnerable, particularly in its reliance on mining companies for crucial export data. The core tenet of the Dutch cruise lies in the distortion of nation economy due to a surge in revenue from a natural resource one. This often leads to the neglect of over vital sectors like agriculture and manufacturing, currency appreciation, making society. Well, we society are kind of the core tenet of the Dutch curse lies in the distortion of the nation's economy due to a surge in revenue from natural resources. This often leads to the neglect of other vital sectors like agriculture, manufacturing, currency appreciation, making other exports less competitive, and increased reliance on volatile global commodity prices. For Liberia, a nation still recovering from years of conflict and heavy reliance on external factors, the risks are particularly acute. Adding to this vulnerability are the alarming reality of how Liberia currently monitors its mineral wealth. Shockingly, the government largely depends on the very mining companies extracting these resources to self-report their export volumes, qualities, and values. This system, fraught with inherent conflict of interest, creates a situation ripe for underreporting and manipulation. Government geologists from the Ministry of Mines and Energy, often stationed at mining sites, are placed in a position of dependence. Their ability to independently verify export data is severely limited as they rely on the mining companies themselves to share this critical information. This lack of independent oversight leaves the government with an incomplete and potentially true picture of its natural world being extracted and shipped abroad. On the other where I want to leave you, listening controls back to you.
Thank you very much, Esther. Let's bring in our partner, Aliyu Masale, to greet the audience. And after that, we can take our break. Aliyu, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Nibne. Good morning, Esther. Good morning, Mama Labrador. This is Aliyo Masali, Baltimore, Maryland, USA. Glad to be here this morning.
All right, so folks, let's take our break, and then when we come back, we bring you our personal analysis relative to some of the stories we brought you this morning on this edition of the Pre News. So let's take word from our sponsors and be right back.
It's about musical. There are crowds in many places. In every community, you can see. So if you see crime, report it. Don't take law in your hands for the right authority. Well, it can't take care of it. Crime stopper here for us, bringing safety to your door. Whether you rich or you poor, if you see a human talking, I mean you check. Do it for your safety. If you see it, don't keep it. I'm a part of report it. Crime stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime stopper Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime stopper, keeping us safe, the stopping crime for all of us. Crime stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime stopper Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime stopper, keeping us safe, the stopping crime for all of us.
Crime Stopper Liberia is here for you. Remember, you see it, you report it. This is a message from your own self, Omen Sam Sion.
Crime stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime stopper Liberia, from the center to interior. Stop, keeping us safe, let's coming down for all of us. Stop, make people bringing safety to your door. Stopping crime and making peace for them before. Stop, Liberia, from the center to interior. Stop, keeping us safe, let's stopping crime for all of us.
Robbie, why you taking?
I said, darling, you look so worried.
Charles, I'm worried because I don't know where to get stuff for my shop and restaurant.
Oh, come on, man. Haven't you heard about Exeter's Best Price Store on Gurley Street and Smart Road Junction on the Old Road?
Oh no, Charles, tell me about it.
Exeter's Best Price Store got everything for your shop and restaurant. And the good news is that they have reduced the prices of club beer products and imported beverages. So to keep that graduation party, wedding reception, and whatever occasion jumping till the break of dawn, Exeter's Best Price Store is that place for you.
Is that all?
No, they have for the first time introduced on the LIB market Buffalo Revive that comes with 4 different flavors: Cool Blue, Apple Kiwi, Flow Red, and Fitness Orange. It's good for athlete and everyone. For wholesale and retail supply, call cell number 0770-617-575. Exeter's Best Price Store on Gurley Street and the Old Road Smart Road Junction. We are your cheaper wholesale and retail store.
He said, when you want some more, I provide it. So we start to talk. Come on, going deep and deeper. Put in thought to each.
Welcome back, folks. We having issues with our Mayuba app, and so we hope to get that settled in the not too distant future. But let's leave the shores of Liberia and send controls to our USA partner, the man Aliyu Masale, who's based there in Baltimore, Maryland, the USA. Aliyu, you listen to Esther and I reading from the online versions of Front Page Africa and the Daily Observer newspaper. So which of the stories that caught your attention you want us to talk about? Let's give you the time to flow.
Okay, thank you there. Yeah, I listening to the story this morning because I'm looking at the issue about the violation of the code of conduct by Joseph Waka and his people, and also listening to what you said about Darius Dillon and also President Weah, the apology that was extended from the Liberia National Police. But first of all, this issue about the violation of the code of conduct, this is something the Unity Party government, those people, they campaign heavily on respecting rule of law and all of these things. So it was quite unfortunate that immediately when they took office, our president, His Excellency Joseph Yuma Boakai, he was the first person. He even took our respecting of rule of law. He took it, he put that one in the challenge and he flushed it. So the issue about the arrest agenda, there is no more respect for rule of law. That arrow have been taken for the arrest agenda. And these are things that those people they campaign on and they criticize or the previous administration. Today, there's whole issue about Emma Nite Glasgow rather. This is where it started from, where people say she was campaigning, she was this, she that, and other people. And today, at the end of the day, they say financial malpractices, all kinds of things. And today she's out. This is the same way it started. That they respected the code of conduct. And these people, one thing I would say to we the Liberian people, when it comes to respecting rule of law or any other law in that country, under this Unity Party administration headed by Joseph Yuma Boakai, let's just take our heart from them. There will be no respect for rule of law in that country. There will be no respect for anything in that country once we get Joseph Boakai as president. This man, he does not believe in respecting rule of law. He does not believe in the constitution and any other law that govern that country. In every serious manner country, one of the things that bring integrity to your country is to uphold the rule of law, to abide by the rule of law. That's one of the things that bring integrity and credibility and high respect to your country. If we can can get a 42 years old experienced president in our country who does not respect the rule of law, the constitution that made him to be president, it is troubling. And you see, this is why he continues to undermine the peace and stability of our country today. You see him using millions of dollars to buy bulletproof cars because you know he has destabilized our country. He has destroyed our country, so he said he needs to protect himself. So when it comes to that, and this is a their case, IKS, CMC, CDC, Wakana P, Wakana Party, you go all your kind down. Nothing is going to happen wherein you saw Jeremiah Kuhn, their party chairman, you saw Mo Ali. These things are did in Nimakate. That's what their case. We were just talking, and that's the end. Nothing is going to happen. This is Joseph Boakai. I always say our children learn from us. If you can get a president who does not respect any law of the country, why do you expect his leaders to do? So for the issue of that, that's on their case. Nothing is going to happen. When it comes to the president issue, we saw those the police people that were over there that day at our campaign, our due payment rally. Wait, first of all, Gregor Cuomo, we know you people came to power to be the most sophisticated government, the most experienced, well qualified, and educated people. And for where you went to get your education today, this is why most of the time I always say, I don't know why some of these people leave from here, they go to Liberia, what they really went there to do. Because Aliyu Masari, I'm in America, I'm working every day, I see things, I'm getting more experience. And I think when I go back to my country, I need to try to see where I will be working. At least let me change some of these things there. But it is quite unfortunate that Gregory Como, you always just follow social media posts, social media, what people say on social media and act upon it. Before our campaign rally, I said this on the other platform that all citizens should be very careful. Because once you're going over there, you're wearing your party brigadier, this and that, and what have you. These United Party people will do everything to provoke you, and when you're not taken, something else will happen. And this is why they went there for that day, just so they can do something. When sedition, when they shake up, then the fire, then again, the UTI gas on them. That's what they went to do. And I said it that day. So the whole thing coming out to come and help you. Who complain to you? Hey, you went there, you stood there, we govern ourselves accordingly, we did our due payment, our president launched it for us, and we left on that peacefully. Why carry you there? When you thought they will say, oh, they see the we are police, they see police George we are left, that they see police there, you shouldn't say that Joseph Waka police. During George we are administration, those police, they were under a responsible government, or responsible police IG, and that is why you saw them, they used to do their things in accordance with the law. But because today, during Manaseli and Joseph Waka time, we saw what the police used to do in the country. And Joseph Waka and the city under Gregory Cuomo. So we know when it comes to brutality, violence, and things, it's always when you see the police doing it, just know that Unity Party in power. Because CDC yourself, we are creative people, we are uneducated, we know nothing about governance. But when we come there, we can make your shame. This is why you people say for 12 years, when you were broke, hungry all around you, you started protesting to come back to power. You see, because you mismanaged everything you people work for. So this whole thing, thank God, we went there, everything was done peacefully. They went there to try to intimidate us, to provoke us, just for them to shoot and kill us again or to tear gas us, but nothing like that happened. Cyrus Dillon, this thing you're talking about, Unity Party, failure, this and that, or President Wakai, the delay, or what's happening in the House of Representatives, this and that, and what have you. Where were you? Were you not among those senators that listened to Oslo 12 and you said, okay, yeah, you will act upon the opinion of the Justice Minister?
Mm.
This is so sad for our country. You were among those senators. Why today? And this issue about what happening in the lower house, this whole thing was masterminded by Joseph Yuma Brakai. Then how will you say, oh, the president should see what to do when he was the same man that went and took our country resources, he and Jeremiah Kuhn, and gave it to Samuel Koga to destabilize the House of Representatives just to remove a sitting speaker. You were there. You saw it all that time when we thought you said, oh, the president cannot interfere. The president cannot interfere. You people work upon the opinion of the justice minister. You recognize Rachel Kuhn's speakership, and you were there working, and you continue working, signing the budget, everything. You work along with him. Where were you? You people brought this old man to us. Just now, if Darrell Taylor get his own company, you tell you say, oh yes, or you had to find position for President Boakai or Joseph Boakai, he will never ever bring him there because he knows he's not competent of doing anything. Leadership ability or whatsoever, nothing he knows. We talk about governance. But you're
Aliyu, well, we lost Aliyu. Aliyu will come back, but on a serious note, Esther, I'd like to speak to, the assertion made by Darius Dillon. It's long overdue because we expected that from Darius, from this entire impasse at the legislature from its onset. That's when Darius should have come up to say, look, the president should have, play a mediate role, a role to, resolve the matter, to play a fatherly role. When you see your children, having confusion, you need to call them and settle the confusion and tell them, look, you are wrong, you are right. But you people are family, so you'll do the right thing just for peace sake. That's how a good father does. You can't take side. When you take side, you bring in division into the family. It's like you're telling the kids that, oh, daddy born me, but daddy doesn't show me love. He showed this person love. He doesn't care about me. He doesn't care about my feelings. So the assertion made by Darius Dillon, in short, is belated. It's belated. Darius Dillon, he's one of those who were in counties, moving into villages, towns, and telling people about, they should vote the Unity Party government. Yes, Darius Dillon is on record for that.
Of course.
And another thing I like to speak to, the police issue. The communication arm of the police is very weak. It's very weak, the communication arm of the police. You remember the first time Gregory Coleman talked to the BBC, he was misguided by a recording that was done 5 months prior to the burning of the Capitol. So he based his conclusion on that recording, that this person went to session and said this, and he went on BBC. He was misguided because the communication arm of the police did not guide him properly. Because you need to be feeding your boss with all of the information that want to get you there for as a communication person. Before your director goes to the media, you should have briefing with your director. You need to guide him. Mr. Director, when you get there, this is what you need to say. That is the responsibility of the communication department.
Of course.
But I don't know what Cecilia is actually doing, that every time the police is just, making a lot of blunders.
And Wendell, let me just come in a little bit. This is not about being personal, right?
Not at all.
But Cecilia Clark is somebody who a lot of her colleagues have complained about, And the sad part about it is that she was into mainstream journalism. I mean, she understands what it means to be a reporter.
Yeah.
But yet she's acting as if to say, she just fell out of the blue sky and became, the
spokesperson
for the police.
Yeah, you can't do that. You're supposed
not doing
to
your
guide.
job.
You need to guide
There
your
are series
bosses.
of your colleagues who have called,
Yeah.
who have said a lot of things about you not giving them information. Sometimes when the police even brutalizing them We expect you to, to speak to your colleagues about these things. You don't do it. You act as if to say you were never a journalist.
So
That's
so
sad.
so it's sad for our country. Nobody to complain to the police to say, oh, the police did something, or while we're having program, the police came there, they misbehaved. Nobody complained to the police. You just saw something from a social media blogger and you ran with it to say, oh, something happened, or at the police, at CDC, due rally payment, a program, I mean. So we have to apologize. Not doing your background check to do your homework properly before you allow the director to come or to go and make that public apology to CDC.
It just shows that you are inept
Exactly. CDC is telling us now, but we can't complain to these people. Why are they apologizing to
in the
us?
first place.
What did we do? That warrant apology. So I just don't look. Greg, Inspector Coleman, if you are listening, you need to strengthen your communication app. I'm not saying you should dismiss Cecilia.
No.
All right. But Cecilia, you yourself too, you need to step on your game, because you are picturing the police to the public in a negative tone. That's what you're doing. Nobody complained. CDC did not complain to the police that one of your officers came here and misbehaved. So why are you coming up to apologize to CDC? Why this apology? Why? And Senator Darius Dillon coming up to say that President Weah is making video dancing and all of that and making loud tones because Bwaka government, they have failed the Liberian people and all of that. Y'all say it was too early for us to say that this government has failed. That we can say. Because the government got, I think, pretty close to 3 plus more years to be in power. So you now who supported this government, who fought for this government to come into being, you are coming to tell us that Bwaka has failed the Liberian people. So it's belittled. All of these things happening is just sad for our country. See what is happening in Nima County. See what is happening in Nima County. The people are not dealing with the issues in Nima County. They're just being personal. They are turning the entire Nima County thing into tribal politics. If you're not for the tribe, don't vote for the person. If you're for the tribe, don't vote for this person. So the Gio and the Mano, they are from one county, but this is what is happening. Deal with the issues and forget about attacking personalities. Let's deal with the real issues that are on the ground. Who can make a good representation? Look among the candidates. Follow their track record. That's how people should give power to people in this country. Somebody that you got to follow the person track record. Koga has served in that position for so many years. What has he done? These are things that you need to look at. Why you think Koga would do more if we give him the senatorial seat? These are the arguments that you should be putting on the table.
Someone who believes that a female cannot lead.
All right? But you're going to tell the Liberian people, you're going to tell the people that, no, not time for women. And that woman been there. That man need to take that job. And we continue to preach gender equality.
So you won't bring us to
the Senate level. To the Senate level now.
Really? You better go be turned.
So these are the things that you should be engaged in these candidates. What have you done? What can you do if we give you this? These are the things. These are the things. People not representing their in our halls because they Zoe or because the juju person, the this and that. Not Zoe thing that people doing over there.
No.
Hey, you want Zoe, do your Zoe, bro. Go to your little bush area and do your Zoe work.
You can do
But
it
you-
right there in the county.
Not
Nobody
in
will
the
ask
House
you
of
any question.
Senate.
You're entitled to do your
Yeah.
traditional things.
Not in
but
the
do
House
not
of
bring
Senate.
it at the level of our Senate.
Yeah.
That's what we're saying.
So you deal with the real issues. I mean, preaching tribal politics at this point in time is not good for our country.
It's not.
It's not good.
And even your vice president Wendell
Yeah.
is talking about the man people
Yeah.
and the down people.
Yeah.
I'm
can,
like,
can you
really?
imagine?
Is that how you're gonna base the leadership of Nema County on? Is that what you're gonna be doing?
So we just
Another person will come out and say, okay, since he's talking about the man and the down people, the other person already in power, so they shouldn't put another man or they shouldn't put another down person there. So we should also say we already have a male senator in Nema County. Why not vote a female senator?
So you see,
That should not be based on that kind of.
You see what is happening. You see what is happening. You see the politics you guys are preaching in Nema County is going to divide that county. And that's exactly what is happening. Nema County is getting to a point now where division is taking place.
Right.
Because there are people who support Prince Johnson that just don't like Koga. There are people who support Prince Johnson that like Edith Gongoware and some other candidates.
Of course.
All right. So you deal with the real issues on the ground. Prince Johnson was your longest serving senator for 27 years, though he did not end his last 9 years that was given him. But all of those years, Senator Johnson served your county. You know his track record. You see his handwork. Look at Koga, look at Edith Gongoware, look at Garrison Yellow and the rest of the other guys around it.
Who is capable?
But you don't do that thing because the person that Gio or because the person that Mano, because the person that Cram, because the person that Crew and all of that. Your county comes first. That's why we always told you people, even on our platform here, in as much some of us, we did not support this government coming into power. But when the government do the right things, we tell you, say, oh yes, the government made a good step. And if they do bad things, we'll come out and say it here. Like some of you always accuse us that for 6 years we sat here, we did not criticize the CDC government. Then it means that you have never been following us. Because there were times we sat on this radio and criticized people from the George Weah administration. In fact, we even called on the president to take decision on some of his followers, some of his people, which he did. So we're always there to criticize and commend them when they do good work. It's the same as this government. Because any good thing that happened under this government ain't happening for the country. Ain't happening for Unity Party, ain't happening for CDC, ain't happening for MDR, ain't happening for LPDP. It happened for Liberia. Every Liberian would benefit. The Invincible Park, the Unification Park, all of the places that were built, the 14 military hospital, the Emory Hospital in Bapolo County, all this, when the projects were starting, people condemn it. But today, aren't we benefiting from them? We are. So that tribal politics that the people preaching in Nema is not a good sign for our country. Then Darius Dillon, who fought to bring this government in power, even 2 years, 3 years, he said Joseph Boakai failed. So when we sit down here and say Joseph Boakai failed, will we be saying the right thing? Because the men who fought for this government to come, one person is Yeke Koloba. Yeke Koloba will all around your vote Joseph Boakai. He's the real change. Today, what Yeke Koloba telling us?
It's a sedition, in fact.
Yeah. What Yeke is telling us today, the very Yeke men that fought for this government to come into power, Yeke is telling us today how corrupt this government is. So let's take a few calls. Yeah, Liberia trouble. We get talk until God calls them all. But the country, yeah,
I'm telling you.
the country
Because
need
you even talking window is like you wasting water on dog park.
That's it.
So they're not going to listen to you.
Yeah. Seriously?
We go on the internet every day. We see what's happening in Burkina Faso, and you get sad about Liberia every day. I mean, no progress. You're ain't doing nothing except playing with the rule of law, doing your own thing, what you want to do, benefit yourself, and that's it. And that's the country we
So
find
let's
ourselves
get
in.
to the phone lines. We have a few more minutes to be here, so the remaining minutes we can share with you our comments and your calls 0776 104 104 086 500 104. The WhatsApp line is active plus 231 886 500 104, and the female line is 0770 297 016. Those are the numbers to call. Call and take your 1 minute and make your contribution. So let me say happy birthday to my friend and brother. He's all the way there in California, the USA. Tony Blapper Kofa. Today is your birthday. Happy birthday. May God grant you all of your heart desire as you celebrate your natality today. So I want to say blissful nativity to you, Tony Blapper Kofa, all the way there in California in the United States of America. Let's get to the phone lines and take calls now on those numbers just announced. Let's take our first caller. Good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon. My name is Otis Pato calling from Iron Factory, Somalia.
Go ahead, Otis. Let's hear you. You have 1 minute to make your point.
Okay, the last time there was the same show, and for me, what is bothering me in this country is our leadership in this country. If
What?
you take the leadership, when you to A, you say you're the best. Waka 500 days, I call on the phone, I said, Waka say, and somebody was trying to rebuke and telling me that these people are not the people that are making a real judge. But no, let me say this. When we talk about the speakership they gone days, I think one of the confusion is Joseph Waka is masterminding. One of these things are going on. I tell you on the risk. When you live in your house, a brother call you, just recently, before I started calling, the fellow said,
Go ahead. Are you there? Hello, caller. Are you there? It's like we lost that caller. So let's get to another caller here. Uh let me take this person. This person will do. Caller, are you still there?
yeah, I stay there.
Well, go ahead. Why are you not talking? I think your line is bad. Let's leave you and take another person. Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah, welcome to the show. Tell us your name and where you join us from.
I'm Reverend Ruby and you calling from Brooklyn.
Go ahead. Let's hear you, sir. You have a minute. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you for the show and thank you for talking point. My concern is known to Senator the law.
Okay.
You see, Mr. Nimle, we have to be very cautious mannered as Liberians. We shouldn't allow people to talk to take our nation. The law is just a failure in this country. I remember the law was one person who was called a lie. He said he was a lie. So why is the lie today? The law go on this to national radio and say people hail him. These are people who consider what a ship story. I was the Liberty Party 2011. The law misled us. I'm still to be on record. To vote against the Liberty Party, I was brought into position number 10 at the time, District 14, currently. He told us to support the base of Manasteri. He misled that group for the conscious minded point. I went back to the Liberty Party and make my case to the Liberty Party that he was giving us. So there are not serious people in this country. We shouldn't take them serious. I think he's changing. He's looking for relevance to Ambassador Josh Muya. So that when the party, the government shall leave with nothing to show them, he ain't on the we are showed up. It's just a leave. So this will get take this serious. Thank you for the time.
Thank you very much. Let's take another person. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr. Nimle.
Yes, good afternoon. Welcome to the show. Let's hear you in a minute. Your name and where you join us from.
Yeah, this is good afternoon, darling. This is Derek King. Joining my resident here.
Welcome, Dave. Let's hear you.
Yeah, Mr. Bigman, it's a sad day for our country. I think where we found ourselves, like you guys are saying, all Mr. Walker has been able to frequently violate our laws and behave as if to say he's one of those dictators that we had yet in the past that led us to the war. And I think they kind of push Charles Walker has pulled up in Liberia if we are not careful. 2029, and we all yearning for will not be a good 2029. Because I can tell you, Mr. Dima, Mr. Walker, he is growing that dictatorship by the day. And folks on the opposition community, including my own opposition party, the CDC, we continue to be like we having church service and nobody's supposed to see anything. And I don't think this is the way to go. Nothing is happening in the country. I saw him standing in front of the market at George Weah Bill in 2018 for the people of Weah. After the invaded for that land, the people were selling on that body. He was vice president. He could not do anything about that thing. Mr. President Weah came and negotiated with that land and leased that land for 6 years. Before the attorney could get over, he did re-leasing of that place again for another 6 years. If the brother wanted to go to that place and break the entire market and take some club there. Because the people stood up to him and he said that we have leased a place, so he can't do no such thing. She thought he went putting the wire around that place and telling the people the country so high. So saying in fact, if you're not buying your market, I will put television in the market so you guys can sit there watching African movies. And that's what he did. He doesn't know what do things, we develop the country so I don't care what you do, we develop the country to better the life of our people. Is that how to better people's lives? Can't you see a grandson right across the border here in Burkina Faso? You see what I'm doing? The president and anybody who is in our country going to university at the end of the month you carry $160 for something. Can Mr. Walker do that in Liberia? He can. So you buy himself modify wheelbarrow. He ain't words that he can sit in wheelbarrow to go to work. Modify wheelbarrow. That he going all over for the time. I'm not going to a ball. He can celebrate his first birthday, 90th birthday, because Joseph Walker wanted to carry a wheelbarrow to Grand Basso to go and introduce to the people and show it to the people in Grand Basso. Is this a leader? This brother is not a leader. Joseph Walker is very much in aptitude taking this country backward. And we like will have to wake up to the occasion. If we don't rise up to the occasion, we'll continue to be crying this way. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let's talk to this person. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr. President.
Yes, you are live on Freedom Radio, the print news. Let's hear your contribution.
Yeah, thank you. Good afternoon to your foundation. My name is Isaac. Just because of okay. I'm joining that.
Go ahead. Let's hear you, Isaac.
I want to say thank you firstly for the time of meeting. But you know, as this issue about Senator Dillon, I think Senator Dillon is trying to buy time. Seriously, for reality, for people to understand, he is trying to buy time. He is a full failure to deliver to do a most relevant day. He feels that if he informed Walker as the person he supports, that would give him influence to be re-elected. But at the rest of the story, that's not work. These guys are the leaders of people who are the facilitators to this issue that we know we have used our building, the property that was built by government money over years ago. These guys are the facilitators behind it. So we should not leave from the back, it comes to the front for sure, it says as it seems. Okay, let's assume the law. So now, we we are retiring, we go in this so that's not an issue. Then you enjoy yourself, ride the car, use the big phone, do all of those things you want to do. But other than that, you are going to retire after over the time. Thank you for asking.
Thank you. Let's talk to the female general, Masisi. Masisi, welcome to the show.
Hey, begin with that. How you doing?
I'm okay. Thanks for asking. How are you, Masisi?
I'm doing great, Papa. I'm doing great.
Good. Yeah,
Hi,
she's okay. She's all right.
Let me say hi to my son, Masali, and God in the diaspora. Look, Wendell, what we've been saying for the past 6 years, I come to tell the same to the Label people. And Buaka is not doing well. For a second year, you want to open your wild mouth or President we are. They may who sat on my classroom or start spying a friend in classroom. Even sit in class and you feel that you're street smart. So you want to be smart, you want to put more one we are. I will tell them nothing you know about go to the Paul that they may not be nothing for Labra. In there, you stole the Labra money, they carry agriculture, they gain the money in Labra, you ate the money, and nothing left on and I always say this. They don't take it. That thing at capital here, it will not be solved just now. I'm telling you, don't take it to the bank. Don't take it to the bank. What I've been saying that men are getting no leadership ability. And we let it from you day by day. They long we told people that they men for Buaka. Nothing will do in the country. And we're yet campaigning for Delon and lifestyle something our mother and father there in this country. To tell President we are if they open your mouth, that he open your mouth. What we've been saying to the people today, you can't qualify to the people saying yes, it did nothing to the people and nothing. It's so funny for the number to be able to come back. What is the thing around here? Go pay our money to the pastor, bro. They carry a ball, they take a ball, they sell it review on Facebook. What the fuck want to go do at the party headquarters? We don't even know about it. So we want to keep us we are the party headquarters and God pull it also. When they pull it also take a ball, they apologize to the political leader and the CDC alert. So we want to people want to go do the party headquarters now. Where we don't even know. So let them make us tell what happened at the party headquarters and they say they are full of door and what have you. They put that for the government that they say put up door. You can't be in government, you camping for government that you eat. And put them by the government so they will see that all men with a map of bass or it didn't even take campaign. So what happening now? What's going on? Everything they talk about, but we are government, they do the thing. When you talk they say, oh, we are there, they say, no, the way you see we are. I think we have a push you want to do everything with a profit. But the way people go to they won't see for them. The people are crying for in the city. You talk about bread with a so-called bread and butter issue. If you say the people, if people see how much money burger, you and your pro government people. Thank you for so much for having me.
Thank you, Man CC. Thanks for your contribution. We have Peter Lane on the line. Let's hear from you, Peter Lane. Welcome to the show.
Yes, good afternoon, Wenda, and let me say good afternoon to Esther and Aliyu.
Go ahead. Peter Lane, go ahead. We can hear you.
That's right. You see, all right. So I think the plan that the police had and deploy armed police at the CDC headquarters on Saturday was never met. This is why they came out to apologize. They actually wanted to put fear in people. Maybe they thought sedition could, get afraid and stay away from coming to the headquarters. This is why you see that this is what they did last time. They should stop the too much intimidation. We were going for a peaceful program. No one is fighting. Nobody doing anything wrong. There's no reason why they should deploy armed police at the headquarters. It was wrong, and our civil society group that in the country should be able to condemn it. When it comes to the issue of Senator Delon, they are the one that put us in this mess. He himself is saying or realizing that this government, no matter even if you gave them 24 years, they will not do anything. They find out they begin at this, not recognizing the rule of law, anything at all. So if we give them 24 years, 30 years, they will not do anything to change this country. That is something that Senator Delon himself knows. That's why he was making that statement.
Okay.
So we know the only thing we are telling the Liberian people is that we should just be patient because we already given in the 6 years. We should be patient and remain focused. And we are calling on all citizens to continue paying our due. The due payment still continue. We should pay our due. We should be committed to our party because we know that 2029 the librarian people going to correct the mistake that they made in 2023.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Let's take a few comments. Peter Lynn Peter says, good afternoon, Wendell, Esther, and Aliyu Masale, following you guys from Congo Town. Augustine Gifler says, good morning, Freedom FM. I'm following live from Louisiana, USA. Clarence Obeshi Dwes says, Darius Dillon is saying, is seeing the writings on the wall of the executive mansion. Joseph Walker has messed up everything. But Senator Dillon, where were you when you guys recognized Richard Namwekun as Richard Namwekun's speakership at the Upper House? Have it quiet, my dear brother, and stop pretending like you something nice. Old man Samsung is coming for you 2029. All right, Eric P. Jad Jr. says, good morning, Freedom FM. I'm following you. I'm following the show from Magibi. And let's continue with more messages. There's one from Peter One Day. He says, I'm following you guys from Crown Hill Community. Good morning, my dear brother. I'm following you from Pennsylvania. That's Tom Gio. Moses Kamara is watching. Gabriel Mann is also following. Gabriel Mann Senior is following. Moses Kamara is also following. He says, Clarence Obeshi Dwes says, let Prophet Key remains in jail until his ear comes back. The NEC decision to complain Prophet Key to the Ministry of Justice is not actually about a fake voter card. It is about the continued insults towards the chairperson of the NEC. Is sweet for him. The next jail sentence should be Yeke Koluba. All right, so we continue with our comments. We take more comments here. Okay, nothing going to happen to those appointed officials of government who are running campaign in Nimba. Joseph Baka removed former CDC officials from their jobs because some of them were involved in campaign activities. I wonder where is the Council of Churches and those so-called civil society organizations. My beloved country is bleeding, from Clarence Ogbechi Dwe. So far, we have Randall Walloba. He says, hi, guys, from Minnesota, USA, Brooklyn Park. I'm following the conversation. So let's take two more calls and then we go home. Let's talk to this person. Hello?
Hello, Wendell.
Yeah, how are you, Pop? We are Toba. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, my son, my brother, my nephew. You see, the police now made a mistake. Something they planned that they would design to happen that day. And the meaning of the plan is that what you see, the Ukraine or armed men, the plan is, but was then God was in control. The one thing we can say that we are preaching for peace. It not mean to say that they want to eat their hand. Somebody can shout them a tent to water on the ground. They didn't know. But one fine day, I always say, the ring, the tenor, one day it will black get dark. The time they will know whether I made anything time. Thank you. May God bless you.
Amen. That's the voice of Papu Toba. Well, folks, all we can say here to President Bwaka is, President Bwaka, you have to, do the right thing for our country. Those campaign promises that were made to the people of Liberia, you must deliver those promises. If not, we'll continue to expose the ills in this government. And trust me, whenever you do a good job, we'll come here and say it. But you have a commitment to the people of this country. all of the things you said, that if you are given the chance to lead this country, you will do for the people of this country, are those things Liberians are on your back for. All right. So, on that note, this is how we conclude this edition of the show from the Pre News. And we'll be back here tomorrow at 12:30 for another edition of the show. Until then, do have a pleasant Tuesday in the nation's capital, Monrovia. My name is Wendell Nimne. Esther Daku was here. And so tomorrow, hopefully, we'll be here by his grace and mercy.
Sometimes I think it's fun, I tell you to be positive. Now the mouse, what you eat and you drink. Go to money, what you got to for me. What did they say in the can nothing to do? Like the everything and everything that what we do. So no dispatch, the better we can keep it. Not keep that, nobody can keep it. Go, go. I'm on every day, activity, no money to go. Get on the floor, tell them what we do. Everything activity is something that we produce. Chill all day, make sure don't go to jail. But let the money spend, yeah, let